Hey guys, it's been a really long while and I just want to put a disclaimer that I'm sorry that I couldn't upload videos all that frequently because I had a really busy schedule. I work as a chef in real life and it's really hard to find the time to balance out my gaming schedule and uh, to make videos. And right now I'm not even writing any script, so you hear me stutter way more. But I just wanted to put some attention to this game. So Killing Floor 3. Ooh. Killing Floor 3. Ooh, where should I begin? Ooh, okay. I mean, everybody's not a stranger to know that this game has a really bad launch. I mean, the it was even right now, unfortunately, it's still not optimized well. Like the game occasionally, maybe during the times that I'm recording and it's not too obvious during the recordings, but there are times where like during mid waves, like I'm even playing solo, right? And it just stutters all of a sudden. And keep in mind that I do not have the best graphic card at all. I only have a 4060 Ti due to my computer rig, the build. But it's not a really bad card too, and I have to go all the way to the lowest graphic settings, right? And I have to disable so many things. I have to enable DLSS with the NVIDIA, and I still couldn't go to the quality graphic gameplay as I wanted it to be, and it's pretty upsetting, not gonna lie. And with that, I still get stutters occasionally. Like, what the heck, Tripwire? Like, I do not hate the game at all, okay? I understand and I do notice that there's actually so much hate going on for the game, right? But I also understand from their perspectives, like the haters' perspective, they're just really passionate, you know? They're just really passionate for the game, and I do understand from people that are transitioning from, you know, all the way back then from Killing Floor 1 to all the way now to Killing Floor 3, and they have seen the game evolve with time, and they're just seeing like the franchise doesn't seem doing as well as expected, especially during the trailer. When it came out, it was building so much hype, and then when the launch came out and the beta came out, it was like it's kind of disappointing, and it's really unfortunate, and I do understand where they are coming from, but I would like to believe they also come from a place where they want the game to do better, but it's just not communicate properly, I guess, and maybe in some sense it became into all this hate train coming on, which I understand. But at the same time, to the people that really do not like the game, I hope you guys could give this game a try, you know. I haven't played the game really long. I have less than 10 hours in, right? And I just got this game from quite a good sale. It was having a 40% sale, I mean in Steam, and I just decided, you know what? It's quite a good price right now to buy it. So that's where I decided to try. And I've been seeing clips from other people that it seems quite promising. Of course, it's not to the point where it's really good, but there's actually some improvements. And I would like to actually try it out, you know, give it a try. And here's some stuff that I've noticed. Alright, the first thing I've noticed is the movement. I feel in order to really enjoy the game, you really have to understand the movements over here. So we've been very used to WASD gaming and just basically, you know, just run away from Zats. And in Killing Floor 2, normally before you get hit by the big Zats, you just, you know, jump, and when you get hit, then it will basically push you away more further so you can create some safe distance between the big Zats and you. Over here, they've implemented the dash and slide option. So it's almost like they're bringing like Apex Legends movements to Killing Floor 3 here. And I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just something that we players have to transition to. And it is something that we need to get to use. We need to get used to. I've seen clips from other people that are getting more used to the animations, animations, movements, whatever. And it seems that it's way more smoother on how they are implementing the movements and trying to abuse that movements to create some space for the big Zs and everything. In some sense, in some ways, I do see the vision, and I do see it's kind of fun too, and it does make sense because they're going for more futuristic gameplay, more futuristic storytelling at the same time, which I'm going to talk more about it later. Yeah, the whole thing does kind of make sense. It's just that we as players need to take time to adjust as well. So it will be very stiff, it will feel that you're not doing a lot, and to some people, they will not enjoy it, which I also totally understand, because the whole point from Killing Floor 1 to Killing Floor 2 is already very used to just basic movements and very grounded gunplay, and just make sure that everything's just stick to the basics. And Killing Floor 3, they really topped up the notch and really want to make things really stand out. And I also think that they wanted to appease to more of the generic audience, which I think is the right direction. If you always keep the same audience from the old times, it would never grow. You know, the community would never grow. So they also have to appease the new audience, but at the same time, let's respect the classics, right? Let's respect the people who has been loyal to you the whole time. So I feel that intentions have to be correct, which I also not sure is it or not, because during at launch, it seems like they're very stubborn with all these changes, and they're really not willing to have that open heart to adjust. And I feel there was that opportunity for them to listen, and they are very insist with the changes. The most obvious part was the specialist character change, that they wanted to stick with that. Then after more complaints, then they only start to be like, you know what, we take away the specialist thing, and now all characters can play all perks, which I would have thought like that's kind of like a no-brainer. You should have done that all the way in the first place. So yeah, the movement thing, I think it's a great change, but we need some time to adjust and transition as well. So let's get used to that first. The gameplay loop is totally the same, but there's actually sometimes there are different waves, mutations. I'll just call it mutations, right? And I think it's such a good improvement. I'll give credit where credit's due, where I feel getting all these different varieties of waves, different kind of enemies, like holding a position, you have to defend this side. This kind of weaponry, weapon damage has increased, fire damage increased, poison damage increased, the bloats spawn more, you know, the husk spawns more, or like genuinely like different mutations, stuff like that. It was a really good addition to the game, I believe, and it keeps the gameplay loop more variety, and it just, sincerely, it's just more fun, right? Last time I really had a huge problem. The big Zs, like the Scrakes, the Flash Pound, they are the highlights, right, of the whole game. That's the whole kind. For me personally, that's the whole point. But it was quite a mood killer when I saw like clips or like videos where it wasn't motion capture at all. I know it takes quite a huge budget. Exactly how much budget, I wouldn't know. Exactly how much effort, I also wouldn't know. But you just could tell, like the movement looks so stiff when like the Flash Pound or the Scrakes are attacking you. Like if you want to give the excuse they're chasing you, you know, that kind of running animation, fine, I'll let it pass. But when it's attacking me, like I don't want to know like there's an AI, you know, like attacking me. It feels boring, it feels bland. But when I know like there's this meaty boy just chasing me with the chainsaw, or like just crushing me with like this big weapon, I do scared. It scares me, and I think that's the whole point of the game, where there's this thriller fun, where like, oh my gosh, big meaty boys is chasing me, and I'm trying my best to survive. You know, I think that's the whole point of the zombie shooter game, right? And yeah, back to the optimization. Oh man, even today, when I play, like, I just can't believe, I don't know what are they doing. Keep in mind, same thing again, I do not know anything about graphics, quality, stuff, anything about that. I do not study all of this, but just genuinely as a gamer, when I come back home, kick my feet, go back to my room, just want to enjoy a game, I sit on the game, I boot up Killing Floor 3, and what the heck, bro, it takes like almost 15 minutes just to boot up a game. I'm not even joking, bro. Like, it takes me like almost 15 minutes just to boot up the game. And after I boot up the game, cause I'm just first 10 hours in, right? So I'm just trying out the game, and they just gave me this mid graphics, cause I just follow the benchmark setting, which they automatically set your graphic presets already to the medium. And even with so-called optimization that Tripwire has made for us, it's still really bad. It's still really bad. Like, I'm having so many starters, I'm not reaching like even 60 frames per second. It's crazy. And I really feel for people who like didn't have any better graphic cards, honestly. I just feel like it's such unfortunate that it came to this. But when I went to YouTube, I need to purposefully find some optimization settings that YouTube teach, and I only can manage to play the game. But when I really do play the game, Killing Floor 3, it's really killing the floor. Like, it's fun, it's really fun, okay? Like, I had a lot of fun playing Commando, and wow, like, shooting Zeds, they have came a long way since the beta launch, from what I've seen from the clips in YouTube where people are trying out. I do understand, like I said, people are not really, they're really expecting the quality of Killing Floor 2 to be Killing Floor 3 at a way higher scale, cause Killing Floor 2 was all the way launched around 2015 to 2016. I do not know the stats, but it's like almost 10 years time, right? And if they are only remaining that quality coming back to a 2025 game, it doesn't make sense, which I understand. And during launch, they only have very limited maps, very limited weapons. There's even until today, there's no gunslinger perk, right? It's still okay-ish. Maybe because that I played it during the beta launch, all the way back in 2015 or 16. And there's very limited perks as well. There's also no gunslinger. But I'm kinda content with what they have during that time. And am I excusing them for not releasing Gunslinger? No, come on, no. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like, they already have their whole system established during Killing Floor 2, and just to think that they're not bringing it to Killing Floor 3, it makes me question their decisions on like, wait, but there's something working on Killing Floor 2. So why is it not bring forth to Killing Floor 3? Huh? Like, yeah, this is something I'm very weirded. I'm just very confused. It makes me really confused on why do they do that. But just playing a game with zero expectations and got the game from a good sale, and just trying to enjoy for what it has right now, for what it's trying to offer. It is an okay game. It's kind of like a 6 out of 10. If I'm not biased, it could be like a 7 out of 10. Not gonna lie. I really like, I have no complaints with the music, the art style, the Z design. I know some people is like, oh my gosh, the cyst is now like a foreskin Z. Like, what the heck? But honestly, I have no complaints. You know, like I really like the art style, the story where it's going to. Some people's even frustrated that that's too futuristic, but I also think that it doesn't make sense if it's not going futuristic as well. Not that I'm like a good writer or director or good storyteller or anything, but just the thing that a zombie shooter lore, right, that's all the way back in the 2000s, having that gory atmospheric kind of game, and you just, you know, bring it, remain it to all the way to 2016, it doesn't make sense. And even let's say you want to remain that, for what I see, the directors or the developers, they're trying to do is they're trying to, I wouldn't say evolve, but they're trying to move forward with the storytelling, right? And if the storytelling is still back in London, you know, at the British country where, like, you know, slaying the Zeds and stuff, storytelling wise, it's kind of boring. And I understand why they have to go to futuristic. But that also doesn't excuse the weaponry, right? The weaponry, so far, it feels not the best, but not the worst. But during when I'm playing Killing Floor 2, the weaponry during beta, it was amazing. Like, I can feel the kick, especially during the Z time. You can feel like it's almost like the guns has raw emotions in it. I know I'm exaggerating a lot, but it feels as if like the guns have emotions, and it's just like you can feel the guns, you know. I'm no gun expert, but especially when you're playing like the perks that has the reload perk, and they have like this new animation on reloading. Chef kiss, bro. It was so good. But of course, it was not implemented here, and of course it's kind of disappointing. And not just that, the gowns here is also not as great. It doesn't feel as great as Killing Floor 2. Pretty sure it's also because of the motion capture, and it's also because, from what I've heard, during Killing Floor 2, they have some military men actually using the guns and doing motion capture with the guns. That's why it feels so good, and they capture it around like above 200 frames per second, something like that. So during that time, it was so smooth, and I really like that. At Killing Floor 3, I do not know what they were doing with the guns, but of course the quality is just not the same compared to Killing Floor 2. But the gameplay loop-wise, it still remains the same. Meaty boys are still meaty boys, but I feel one last thing I would like to complain is about the execute animation for the big Zs. It was a great idea, but I feel it was executed not poorly, but like not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the idea of like, I think they're inspired, I believe, from like Doom, where like you get these animations, finishing blows, which is really cool. But at a Killing Floor game, I believe it's great to implement it here. But when we are doing it, and when I see like the Zs around us are like attacking us, but for some reason it feels like we have these infinity frames, you know, invincible frames, sorry. It feels like it's kind of like cheating. It doesn't feel we earned that. It feels like, it's like I did a dirty trick and to kill the Zs, you know, it's like a cheap trick. And it doesn't feel earned. Like Killing Floor 2, like whenever, I know it's a totally different mechanic, but whenever you parry in Killing Floor 2, right, it feels like that's earned, and it feels really good. But during Killing Floor 3, the execute animation, it doesn't feel awesome. So I don't know how can they improve this, but something I would have like improved on, but it's only genuinely for style points. It's not really, maybe it's not a good direction for gameplay wise, but stick the finishing blow animation only for the last Z, the last Z. You know, give player an option like, do you want to execute them or not during the last Z, as they are doing it right now. But don't do it on the mid wave. You know, when there's a lot of Zs surrounding, and you know, when you just do this animation, you have this invincible frame, kill the big Zeds, and suddenly there's just a huge explosion happening around you. It feels like, what? Like, not that I'm really complaining, it feels like I'm kind of like going god mode, right? But it doesn't feel like it's earned, so it doesn't have that some sort of like killing floor fun, if that's where I would put it. But yeah, I'm trying my best to keep it as short as possible. So the game wise is actually quite decent. I wouldn't say it's bad, and I wouldn't say it's as bad as everybody is hating it. And for the haters out there, before you hating on the game, give it a try, you know. And after you try, you still hate the game, you know what, then you do you. But do not bash on others people's experience of the game. If someone's genuinely having fun, you know, imagine like a kid, you know, having fun at the playground. You use that swing and you do not have fun, but that doesn't give the right on bringing out the joy of like other kids trying to have fun with that swing. Maybe that people or that kid is having a different kind of joy that you didn't experience, and why bring out the joy out of, you know, the other people who are genuinely enjoy the experience? So to the haters out there, try not to bash too much, and to the people who enjoy the game, try to give too much hate as well, you know. Let's just love everyone and just enjoy the game for whatever product it is. If you want to give a criticism, you know, give it properly while respecting each other. Alright? Alright. That's all for me. This is Linux Era Team. Have a good day. God bless.
Just the body.